of June 1944, there was a terrible battle. It happened on this beach, Omaha Beach. It was called D-Day. Here is a memorial to commemorate the lives lost, and we just went to the cemetery where there are millions of people buried. I'm going to interview my grandpa here. How did you see the D-Day landings? Where did you see the D-Day landings, and how did it feel?
Well, we heard about the D-Day landings later in the day, because of course nobody knew they were going to happen before. We knew that something was happening because all the soldiers in Normandy had gone away and presumably gone down south to be part of the invasion. So we heard all about it on the radio, news, because there was no television then. And that was how, and everybody was very excited about it. But the next day it was all over the newspapers.
How loud were the air raid sirens?
The air raid sirens had to be very loud so that everybody would know what was going on. And the idea was that an air raid warden, all the sirens are on top of tall buildings, and an air raid warden would go in, and when he heard that the bombers were approaching, he would turn the handle and set the siren going. And it was an undulating tone. It was up and down and up and down and up and down, a real screech, so you knew there was danger. And then you would all go into your bomb shelters. And I was at school at the time, and we had to go to our special bomb shelters. And then at the end of the air raid, when it was safe, the same man would give a whole siren sound, which was just one long steady sound, and then you knew that it was safe to go out.
Where was the closest bomb that exploded near you?
Well, I lived with my mum and dad and sister about 4 miles from the centre of Liverpool. The nearest bombs to come to us were about 200 yards away. But we weren't in the centre of the city, so what we think it was a plane that for some reason the German plane had turned round and was flying away on the way back, and he just let his bombs go. So 200 yards away, and the next morning all the young children, including myself, went out looking for shrapnel bombs to collect.
If you did see any soldiers, how many were there?
Well, at that time there were soldiers, sailors and airmen all over the place because they all kept their uniforms on. So you saw lots of them. But the main body of soldiers that I remember seeing walked past the house where I lived, and they were Canadian soldiers with all their kit on, carrying their rifles and tin helmets, and they were marching along to the railway station to go down to London and then down to the beaches, down to the south coast where they got on the landing craft.